Alrighty, chat. We got. Fuck, I forgot if it's week 3 or 4. Hold on, let me actually check. Let me check. Bro, how did I forget? Hold on. I think last week I did. I think it should be week 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, so this is week 4 um, of June. Got a week recap. This was a very, very slow week. Um, Get some pretty wild days, some shit price action. But yeah, I'm gonna get right into the recap. So starting off with Monday. Let's just bring this back to like 11. I'll just go over the setups that appeared, or just whatever random time. All right. So the first play that we actually got was this 30-second short here. This was actually a really, really solid short. I personally didn't take it. I believe it was on No News Monday. Don't quote me on that. But it was just too aggressive for my liking. I wanted to see, I don't know. Honestly, looking back at it, regret not taking this. It would have been a break even anyways. Really, really love the idea of this play here. Essentially, it was just low resistance to the downside, bouncing out of a key level, market open, Judas swing. Everything aligned with it pretty perfectly, right? Um, we have this hourly fair value that we get tapped into. Okay, we also hit this 4-hour rejection block right here. All right, pretty nice key level to get hit. And then, yes, we were above the new week opening gap, which was why I was kind of leaning more bullish towards this, I guess, this daily high up here. But the reaction we gave off here, the low resistance we have to the downside, everything aligned pretty well for shorts. I really, really like this idea. Looked like a really nice just manipulation higher, and then get that distribution towards the low resistance. So that's what I really, really liked about it. We were inside of this 5 minute. Do I really care though? Not really. Don't really give a fuck. We have this internal low here. We have a 15-minute untapped gap below us that we can go break even at, or just that really early break even off the internal low. But what I really like about this is, oh my gosh, recording getting a fucking call. Every time I do these things, I feel like I get calls. But anyways, yeah, we inverse this gap to the downside here. We have a nice CISD. We develop this order block, and our stop loss is above the order block, above the IFG, above this BPR. Pretty protected for around, like, I guess a 1 to 2 towards the end of this sell side right here. Now, this does get break even once we hit that 15-minute. Good displacement, but yeah, it just doesn't fall through, and then we end up getting break even. So we pump back up. Now, we get a short here. This 2-minute short, why I did not like it and why I didn't take it was because, I mean, we didn't really manipulate into a key level or anything. And then also we just had like 2 1-minute BPRs here that I would like to get inverse. That would suck if we took this and then it just bounces back up. There's really no confirmation here. So we're already starting to do this zigzag formation where we bounce up, bounce down, bounce up, bounce down. Now I'm expecting price to bounce up again after this. So that's why I didn't like this short personally at all. End up just generating more low resistance right there. So glad I didn't take that. Now the obvious DOL here is, I mean, we still have the low resistance, so we got to keep that in mind. We still have the low resistance, but we also have this high up here. So that's what I'm looking out for. We inverse this 2 minutes to the upside, around right there. Oh, once we get that retrace, we get a 2-minute IFG to the upside. This was also a 1 minute right there. Looked pretty good for a confirmation setup. So if you did take this, this was just a discretional play, not really any, not my personal style of setups, but yeah, we end up getting that. Ends up getting break even anyways. A pretty long fucking trade to be in. Now, okay, so this play I'm about to show you right here, I was gonna take it. I ended up staying out because I switched over to my tab where I trade on my where I took my live account play, right? And that shit would not fucking load. It just would not load for shit. It took like 15 20 seconds to load, and by the time I was actually able to enter, we were already down. So I was like, I'll wait for a retrace, and then we got the retrace, never ended up taking it, and so yeah, I just missed out. But this was definitely not an discretionally, I think it's a really good setup, but mechanically wise, considering all the confluences, I don't like this because for one, we edge this high up here. For two, we literally inverse this hourly to the upside. not much of an SMT. Well, we do have some sort of SMT somewhere around here, but it's not obvious enough. It's not A plus enough. I don't know. The 5-minute structure doesn't look too good. I just don't really like it all that much. But we're on ES. No wonder it looks strange. Okay. So we get good candle down here. We start displacing lower and lower. We're breaking gaps. So we broke this gap here. No, I didn't. Just because we broke this gap, I didn't really give a fuck about that. The reason why I liked this was because, for one, we had this final gap here, right? This final 2 minute, which was also a 1 minute here, right? We also had a 3 minute, and essentially they all broke. Not all at once, but they all ended up breaking. So we formed this. We put that order block in, right? Here's the 1 minute, ends up getting inversed. Okay, the 3 minute ends up getting inversed before the 2 minute. And then here we inverse on the 2 minute. Now I like this as a discretional play only. Like I said, the confluences aren't too great. You know, we have some bullish confluences mixed with some bearish. So yeah, the only reason why I like this trade as well is because of the DOL. All right, this low resistance that we have to the downside is very obvious, and it's literally the only reason why I like this play. If it wasn't for the low resistance, this would never be a play in my mind whatsoever. So we break all these gaps. We put in an order block. Stop above the order block. We have a fair value gap, BPR up here, whatever. So we have that a little bit up above there, around a 1.5R. And what do you know? It straight fucking delivers. We end up hitting London low, which is, I think, an untapped hourly, I believe. Never. Well, let me check. Yes, so it is the untapped hourly. We also had this 4-hour right there, a little bit above. A little bit above this sell side. And yeah, we just kind of end up dumping, kind of crazy. And yeah, just chop work from there. But pretty much the only setups for this day was 30-second short that I really loved, and then this 2 minute discretional play. The 30-second was definitely much more A plus than this in my opinion. But yeah, this one was still pretty good discretionally. Now on to Tuesday. Tuesday was a fuck fest, bro. Alright, so the very first play that I took, I got very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. Alright, so pretty much off rip, I wasn't expecting much of a trade. We dumped like over 1,000 points, I'm sure. Probably like 800, 900 points overnight. Yeah, so 1,000 points. And we hit the sell side up here. We have this higher time frame sell side right there, which is kind of the DOL that I'm looking for. But I could also consider this as a rejection block because we do have an SMT at that low. Alright, this also is a low. This is a low that swept another low inside of a fair value gap, so I can use this as a rejection block. And then we have an SMT at that low right there. So that's pretty much what I was looking for. And then some type of retracement before we actually hit this sell side. I was thinking, you know, it'd be better if we just give a nice pullback, hit EQ this range, and then run lower. So I was kind of looking for a little reversal there. My chair keeps making so much fucking noise and piss me off, bro. We got some decent formed low resistance here. We have equal highs. And so off rip, once we had that manipulation lower, it just looks so beautiful. Another Judah swing, very, very obvious. Inversing this 30-second here, we have a nice breakage structure, a CISD, everything. And my stop was a little bit tight because my TP was right here, maybe on this like lip breaker. Targeting like I was targeting 1.5. We had a 15-minute up here and then a 15-minute up there, which is really what I was looking forward to targeting. And yeah, we didn't inverse the 1 minute. We did inverse the 2 minute though, but the reason why I didn't really care about the inversions is because we did inverse this gap here, and my fucking chair is making so much noise. It's pissing me off. The displacement, the sheer amount of displacement, the DOL, the rejection, everything aligned, so I didn't need this to get inverse, right? We run up, we generate equal highs. You could have gone break even here. You could have, waited, but I personally waited. We end up coming back lower. We came up here, and then this would have for sure been break even once we sweep those equal highs. I got lucky. My my stop loss, I guess, didn't get moved up. I didn't confirm it, and yeah, so got fucking stopped here, stop rated like a motherfucker, and then ended up running straight up. But it was just really choppy PA, very very fucking choppy PA, and very unfortunate. Just an unfortunate series of events. We ended up pushing up higher, higher and higher and higher. We end up developing this untapped 15-minute. So I'm gonna actually pull that back here. We generate equal highs up here. Need to have equal highs. There's also an untapped hourly. Dude, what is this chair squeaking so much for, bro? I literally don't understand why it's making so much fucking noise. I don't. Untapped hourly. Now, the one thing about this is ES had already kind of came up, hit that hourly. Where the fuck are we at, dude? Oh my gosh, bro. Shit is just really pissing me off today for some reason. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, ES is already pretty high up. So kind of juicing this out would, I mean, we have the DOL. We're really close to it. It's not like we had a major pullback or anything. We didn't even hit EQ this range, but the fact that we had equal highs on tapped hourly, I was like, it's worth a shot. So we have the 15-minute that gets hit. We also have this, I think, a 5-minute. Yeah, it's pretty tiny, but we got a 5-minute there. Nice manipulation, and then we get just a huge fucking confirmation candle right here. The wick's pretty big, or bigger than what I would like, but still pretty good. We get a nice CISD inversion, break even. Honestly, just once we get kind of displacement, but that shit runs straight to fucking stop loss. Not the best setup in the world, but it's definitely a good setup. It's worth a try on evals and fundeds and whatnot, but yeah, definitely not gonna sit here and say this is super A+. This is a really good setup, but definitely a really good setup. Well, what the fuck? I think I just mixed up my words. Not gonna say it's like the best setup in the world, but it definitely is a good setup. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And yeah, nice equal highs, untapped hourly, but this shit just ends up failing. We do come back, hit discount of the range, but then we don't really get much after that. All right, we kind of just keep going lower and lower, and then yeah, that's the end of that session. So bias, I say, was right for the most part. You know, we did end up getting a reversal, but entries were pretty scuffed, and then by the time we found another entry, it was too fucking late, right? Too late in the kill zone. Wednesday, this was a pretty interesting day. Okay, so bring this to 930. We have conflicting DOLs. We have low resistance above, low resistance beneath us. Okay, we are coming off of a huge dump from earlier in the week, and so we still have the sell side beneath us. What I would like to see is either we come down, hit the sell side, and then give a reaction up for longs and target that low resistance to the buy side, or we come up, sweep the buy side, and then get a reaction lower towards that sell side. Very simple, very fucking simple. There's literally nothing I'm looking for besides that. So here, we come down, we form more low resistance right here on top of all this other low resistance. We give I guess, some type of long, I don't know, maybe on the 1 minute or whatever, but to me, there's no fucking long here whatsoever, all right? Nothing here makes sense, or nothing that I care about here. We hit Asia low, and then we even sweep all this low resistance out. Now, we still have this higher time frame sell side beneath us, but, I mean, if we give a really A+ long, I wouldn't mind taking it towards the buy side up here. We did give a really good 30-second, but here's a 5-minute gap we have. I'm going to show that off real quick. Here's that tiny 5-minute. By the time we get the 30-second, we kind of already inverse or tap into the 5-minute. So, yeah, here's the entry. The stop loss would have to be fucking massive for it to be 100% protected. But if you put it like right there, maybe aim for 1-to-1 up here. Still would have got break even. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. So, all right, just went away. I hate when that happens. But, anyways, yeah. Just a bunch of bullshit. We start chopping up. There's absolutely nothing to look for here. We do give a 5-minute IFEG to the upside, but again, it's just way too high up. I don't like anything here. I really don't like anything. End up coming lower, and this is pretty fucking annoying. So we actually edged the fuck out of sell side. We edged the living shit out of sell side. So there's no long to be taken here until we take out the sell side. And we give a fucking long that actually works out. Like, bro, what? Why does this shit work out? I'm just gonna put it off this candle because I don't even need to see an IFEG to know this is fucking A plus. Like, if we swept some low out, this would have been a really good entry. Like, why, bro? I don't understand how the fuck this shit works. Okay, bro, whatever. But yeah, there's no entry to be taken here. If I look back, yeah, nothing here. We run up, we bounce back down, we run back up, chop, we edge the low, and then we come take out all the buy side. And at that time, there's no point in looking for short. It's already 12. It's midday, and we're nowhere close to being towards this low. So yeah, nothing there. And then the rest of the days here were just pretty ass, especially Thursday. Alright, so the first thing I was thinking is huge overnight move, over 1,000, like about around 1,000 points, all the way up until now at this point in time. The rejection that we had was based off of this low getting swept inside of the fair value gap. We even tapped this 1 hour down there. I think there's a 4 hour as well that we tapped into, if it loads. Yeah, that's the 4 hour we tapped into. Really, really high rejection. So I'm looking for longs here, at least on the higher time frame. But since we gave such a huge move, I'm kind of expecting a pullback. You know, maybe to 50% of this range, taking out all this liquidity. But it's really hard to say here. Honestly, it's kind of just when you come into the market, you already can tell there's really not much of a DOL. We sweep London high. There's really nothing much to target, right? So just see what happens off this getting hit. We have the 5 minute. If we inverse to the upside, we can probably get some continuation models, find something up here. It's highly unlikely, or we give some type of continuation to the downside, targeting all this liquidity there. So off open, we just fucking dip. The first like 20 minutes of market open, we just dump, bro. Just straight up dip all the way down here. We don't even respect the 50% mark. I was maybe seeing some reaction off the 50%, but we don't give any of that. It aligned with the true day open. Yeah, we don't give any of that shit. We just continue to keep dumping. And then we edge the sell side once again. We do a 5 minute long, which I don't give a fuck about. Okay, we're not longing anything here. All right, there's literally no reason to long here. It's boom. All right, we just fucking straight up distribute. What? And then what? You're expecting it? Well, this does look like AMD, but let's say we already came up here. All right, we swept London high. So this is our AMD. This is our distribution. We're not gonna distribute right after. It's common fucking sense that we're gonna just chop around this range. So I'm not looking for a single thing here. Okay, a single thing. I don't care about anything. Start chopping up. We're building low resistance to the downside. We're building low resistance to the downside. We're building low resistance to the downside. For the millionth time, building low resistance to the downside. We do have 50% of this range, the 50% mark. So looking for a short from here, maybe to target this edge low, or even just this low resistance to the downside. I've said that like a million times. That looks pretty good, but again, just because these gaps get inversed, I mean, this didn't even get inversed. I don't care about anything. I want to see like a break of structure or something. And that's kind of like what we got here. So, boom, a nice death candle here. What I like a lot about this is it's exactly what I said I would like to see, instead of us just coming up, because we can continue to inverse gaps all fucking day and still go the opposite way. So we can go up here, inverse to the downside, nope. Inverse to the downside, nope. Inverse to the downside, nope. And continue to build low resistance until we inverse to the downside, and then we come back up. We fail to sweep this high, and then we start breaking structure to the downside and showing bearish structure, right? That's when I would like to look for a short. Okay. Of course, it would look a little bit better than this, but this looks pretty good. I like this. There's not a valid stop loss. Unless you extended your TP all the way down here, then you can have a pretty protected stop. But yeah, this didn't end up getting hit. Just the sell side right here that we formed got hit, and then straight to break even. So wasn't anything crazy. Wasn't an A plus setup or anything. Damn, we did inverse this final gap right here though. That looked really good. But I guess you could have waited for this gap because holy shit, this one was holding like a motherfucker. So like a setup right there would have been really good, but doesn't end up getting hit completely. We just start reversing back up. So there's really nothing to look forward to here. It's just another day of no trading. And we got Friday. Friday is more of an interesting day. Alright, so Friday, we have Asia low down here. Don't have too much buy side up here. I'm not really knowing much of what to expect here. The only thing I can think of is a continuation towards Asia low. That's about it. Once by the time market opens, we're already inside of this 15-minute, already inside of like a 5-minute. We're in premium of this range here. All right, we even hit OTE, so this is a really, really good short if we get one. Off open. One more thing to mark out, by the way, is we have this untapped 5-minute down there that we generate. So off open, we run up. You generate equal highs. It's not a higher time frame set. It's just on a 30-second. But we still generate equal highs. We give, holy shit. Okay, so here we give a no wick candle to the upside. Off open, no wick candle to the upside. We have equal highs, so taking the first short is fucking idiotic. Okay, it's a good displacement candle and everything, but it's idiotic. If you took this, should have been break even anyways because we hit the 5-minute, ran straight back up, and bam. All right, now we reswept the high. Okay, we took out the equal highs. All right, we hit the no wick 9:30 open, and then we give maybe like some 15-minute, we have a 15-second short. And then I like the 30-second more because it just looks cleaner. We have a break of structure. Very beautiful CISD here, breaking this zone that literally no body could close beneath. So it's a really good. That's something that you would like to see, right? If you're looking for shorts. I'm fucking tired of speaking, bro. We have this little miniature 30-second right there that also breaks. We probably have like a 1 minute. Yeah, we have this 1 minute that breaks as well. Overall, honestly, I didn't really look or care too much for the IFEGs here. Once I saw this candle, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks fucking beautiful. Of course, I didn't take it, right? Wasn't really prepared for it. This is the exact scenario I thought of, but I just wasn't really prepared or preparing myself to take any trades. I was kind of expecting it to be a no trade day. This would have been a really good try on an eval, though. I should have definitely taken this. Stop, I guess you could put it at that high up there, just depending on where your RR, but I liked Asia low, so I would have targeted Asia low for about 1.5, and this would have got edged to doom, bro. Holy fucking edge. Run straight back up. Very unfortunate. I don't like any longs here. This is pretty much protected high, and we also have this low down here. I just would wait for more structure personally. End up developing this little wedge here. A little bit too far. So essentially we just have low resistance to the upside, low resistance to the downside. Now what I was expecting was push up and then reversal back down to Asia low, taking out this low resistance, or vice versa, take down or run lower, take out Asia, take out this low resistance to the sell side, and then run up towards that buy side low resistance, right? And then we do have Asia high all the way up, or London high all the way up there. And yeah, so boom. I was expecting a reversal once we came down up here, and then reswept this high up there. I would have loved a short here, but we never end up getting that. And then once we gave this candle up here, put in this order block, it was pretty obvious to me that we want to come for London high instead. So maybe we could get a short off London. Kind of chop work here. We tapped this 5-minute just barely, so that's, it's not like an unfilled 5-minute that I can go break even at. So that's why when we got this short, I didn't like it too much. It's gonna show. Now on the 1 minute, it looks pretty good, but like I said, the break even is protected essentially, and there's no confirmation that we want to run lower, right? Yes, we do have a good reversal point. All right, we're inside of an hourly and everything, but I mean, just take into consideration it's Friday. DOLs have all been hit, okay? Asia, we dumped or overnight we kind of dumped a lot. We already hit the sell side target. So we got to keep in mind that there's really nothing much the market wants to do right now, especially considering it's a Friday. Okay, end of the week. So we're probably just not going to do much. So taking a short all the way up here is just, I would like to see much more structure. Like if we came down and give a 5-minute continuation, I would like to take that towards the sell side, but don't really end up getting that. That's why this fails. This 1 minute would have been nice. I would have liked that, but we took forever to inverse it. We also started generating low resistance, and then we kind of just chopping up. Was expecting some type of, I don't know. I really wasn't. I was off the charts by then, but we did give this really good long setup here. I don't know what the entry would have been, but we have low resistance here, low resistance up there. We tap into a 15-minute. All right, we also tap into a 5-minute. We hit EQ of this entire range here. And although there's no higher time frame DOL that I'm really specifically looking to target, we have this low resistance that we just generated. It looks just fucking beautiful, man. Like there's really nothing you could take away from this besides the wicks up here on this entry. But dude, this looks fucking phenomenal. All right, around 1.5 R off that 2-minute IFEG. You could have waited. Yeah, I just don't like the wicks here. It looks like we're forming more low resistance, but man, this looks really good. End up coming up and just taking all this out. Let's see if we end up hitting that high. Yeah, so we take out this high, just continue to run up, and that's pretty much it for this week. I know I said it wasn't very interesting. It was kind of slow, but looking back at it, there's a lot to learn from this, just on being patient. And yeah, really, I would say this week was all about patience. We go over here to Monday, just a brief overview. Right, we gave market open. We had low resistance to the downside. We tapped. We hit a key level, the hourly fair value gap, the rejection block on the 4-hour. The DOL with the low resistance down here. Excuse me. That's why I really like that 30-second that got presented, and then here was just a discretional 2-minute short. Terrible confluence wise, but you know, DOL wise, it was pretty obvious. So Monday wasn't too bad. Tuesday, really unfortunate. We gave a long setup that ended up playing out, but unfortunately we were just struck with terrible fucking PA. Kind of expected though after we dumped like 1,000 points overnight. We run up, we give a continuation model towards these equal highs / untapped hourly. Ends up failing, so that's also 2 losses in 1 day. Excuse me. Wednesday, self-explanatory. We have low resistance on both sides. Wait for one to get hit, target the other. Here we do hit this. We don't really give any valid entry here, and then also we have this higher time frame sell side a little bit beneath us. We end up coming down back lower to hit that, but we end up edging it, so there's no longs or anything should be taken here. And by the time I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say, but we edge this low. We already hit the buy side up here, or the majority of it, and then yeah, we just don't really give much after that. Thursday, the easiest no trade day of all. We just dump off open for fucking forever, it seems like, and then we get some type of reversal here, start generating low resistance. We don't really give any setups here, and then yeah, it's just the obvious no trade day. And then Friday, a pretty good discretional play here off that 30-second. I don't think, did I go over that? Okay, yeah, I did. It would have gone break even. We start generating low resistance, so same thing as Wednesday, we wait for one to get hit. Buy side gets hit, but we keep running up, and then we give super mid shorts, and then just start chopping, and then we give some discretional, like after 11 a.m. we have a pretty good long here. With low resistance above, we hit EQ of the range, tap into the PD arrays, the 5, the 15-minute fair value gaps, and yeah, pretty decent play. This is one of the best plays this week. This one and Monday's play were one of my favorites. So that's gonna be it for this week, and hopefully we get some good price action this week, so we'll see what's up. But anyways, that's it, and I'm fucking out. Peace.